Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Kombumerri people.
Good morning and welcome to the Squiz Kids Olympic Sprint, your quick as a flash update on the Olympic highlights that happened in Paris overnight while you were sleeping. It's Thursday, August 8. I'm Bryce Corbett. You're ready to race through it? On your marks, get set, go! And it's been a right royal Aussie gold rush in Paris overnight, with 4 gold medals in just over 4 hours, lifting Australia to its best gold medal performance in any Olympics. The first dude of Aussie men's skateboarding, Keegan Palmer, got golden proceedings underway, doubling down on the gold he won in Tokyo 3 years ago to stand atop the podium in central Paris overnight. Yesterday Arissa True, today Keegan Palmer. It's like totally gnarly, bro. Meanwhile, down on the Mediterranean Sea off Marseille, Western Australia's Matt Wern went back-to-back too, repeating the podium effort he turned in Tokyo to claim the gold medal in the men's dinghy event. We're talking sailing, people, and no one rides the waves or captures the wind better than our Matt, you little ripper. Meanwhile, not wanting to miss out on the golden action, our men's team pursuit cyclers pipped their great rivals Great Britain at the post to continue the Aussie gold rush last night. A victory made all the sweeter after crashing out, literally, in Tokyo last Olympics. What a bunch of champions. She came, she ran, she stuck a pole in the ground and flipped herself up to a height of almost 5 metres, and in the process, Nina Kennedy from Perth has just won Australia's first ever women's field event gold medal. And you could hear her screams of excitement right around the Stade de France. You absolute legend. Meanwhile, Matt Denny, the farmer from Queensland who built a throwing circle in his backyard to practice, has come away with a bronze medal, chucking his discus over 69 metres. And bronze too for Aussies Jemima Montag and Rydian Cowley in the mixed relay race walk marathon. Try saying that 3 times quickly. And so to the medal tally. As we go to air this morning, the USA is still on top with 26 gold medals, closely followed by China with 24. And after a crackerjack day of competition, Australia is sitting pretty in 3rd position overall, with a remarkable 18 gold medals, 12 silver and 10 bronze. Our best effort ever, you little beauty. And that's the Olympic Sprint for today. Now it's time for Squiz Kids Today.
Squiz Kids! It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Thursday, August 8. In Squiz Kids Today, fake news fans trouble in UK. Antarctica's spinning iceberg, Kamala picks a running mate, and water found on the moon. That's what's making news, kids style.
The Lowdown.
Well, will you look at that? Squizzy the News Hound has joined us at the top of today's podcast. And that's because he's sniffed out a case of fake news and misinformation that has captured the attention of the world. You may have seen or heard on the news this week that riots have been happening in England. It's all because of misinformation, and a great lesson on why we should never believe everything we read on social media. Lots of damage has been done to lots of buildings, shops have been looted, which means people have smashed windows and stolen things that aren't theirs. Police have been attacked by mobs of angry people, and a group of refugees have been targeted after fake news reports or misinformation circulated on social media. It all began when posts began to appear on social media in the hours after a serious incident at a childcare centre, claiming that the person responsible had recently arrived in England as a migrant and that he was Muslim. Now, neither of these things were true, but enough people believed it and became angry about it without bothering to check if it was true, and they all took to the streets. They failed to do what Squizzy is always telling us to do, and that is to stop, think, and check before believing everything we see, read, or hear online. Just because you see something written on a website, or Instagram, or Facebook, or TikTok, doesn't mean it's true. Because unfortunately, there are plenty of people out there who have plenty of reasons to try to trick us. And the internet has made it really easy for them to do that. Thanks, Squizzy. What would we do without you? And if you're a teacher or parent and you're keen for your kids to learn to stop, think, and check when they're online, check out Newshounds, our free media literacy program for primary school kids. You can jump in via our website squizkids.com.au because we're here to help.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in the United States of America, where a man called Walz has been anointed to potentially become the second most powerful person in the country. I'm talking US politics, people. All right, don't nod off, stay with me, because this is important. A woman called Kamala Harris is going to be taking on Donald Trump at the upcoming US presidential elections in November. And yesterday morning, she chose as her running mate a fella called Tim Walz. He's a former school teacher from the state of Minnesota who used to coach footy and lived and worked in China for a little while, and he loves going hunting but wants tighter gun control laws. You can take this to the bank, ladies and gentlemen. With the big election coming up in a couple of months and with the battle lines now drawn, things in the United States are only going to get more interesting.
Weird science.
And so to Antarctica, where, thanks to some truly freaky science, the world's largest iceberg is in a spin. The iceberg, called A23A, is twice the size of the city of London. Whoa! And it weighs, oh my goodness, over 1 trillion tons. That's trillion with a T. The iceberg, which was slowly making its way north into warmer waters where it would gradually have broken apart, has now been sent spinning on the spot by something called a Taylor's column, which is a naturally occurring circular current. It's a little bit like a whirlpool that you might make in your backyard pool, but on a massive scale. And so, scientists now expect the iceberg could sit there slowly spinning for anywhere up to 4 or 5 years, maybe longer. Isn't science incredible? And isn't the world we live in a remarkable place?
Spaced out.
On the subject of amazing scientific discoveries, there was much excitement yesterday in stargazing circles after it was announced that soil samples retrieved from the surface of the moon contain water. You might remember we've talked about the various missions to the moon that are taking place as we speak, as different countries work out whether or not it's possible to set up a permanent moon base for humans to live in. The fact that one of the Chinese moon rovers who've recently been up to the moon brought back to Earth samples of moon dirt that contains water molecules means that plans to establish a permanent research base up there could just have taken a great big leap forward. Because if there are water molecules up there, then possibly there's water up there, and of course humans need water to live. Just amazing. Yes. Do you hear that? That's the sound being made by parents all over Australia as they realise that Book Week is fast approaching, and they haven't yet worked out their kids' costumes for the parade. Well, because we love Book Week as much as the next parent, we're launching a competition for the best outfits this year. All you have to do is take a photo of your Book Week outfit and upload it to your mum or dad's Instagram account with the hashtag SquizKids, or by tagging us at SquizKids. And thanks to our friends at Allen & Unwin, we've got some super cool book packs to give away to the best outfits. And teachers, we've got a prize for the best dressed teacher too. Book Week starts on Monday, August 19, which is when the competition will begin, but we're taking entries from now until the end of the big event. So, don't just sit there, get glue gunning already.
time for the Squiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. What is the name of the massive iceberg in a spin in Antarctica? Did you say A, 23A? Well done to you. That is, in fact, its name. Not much of a name, though, is it? Question number 2. Tim Walz was yesterday named as the vice presidential running mate of which US presidential candidate? Well done to you if you said Kamala Harris. Question number 3. Water has been found on the moon thanks to a moon rover sent there by which country? Yeah, that's right. It was sent there by China.
Shout-outs.
It's Thursday, August 8. Today, my friends, is International Cat Day. So, if you have a feline, give it some love and affection today. I mean, it probably won't care, or if it does care, it won't let you know, but give it a go nonetheless. Ah, cats. It's also a special day for these Squiz kids celebrating a birthday today. Ween from Rochdale, Millie from Cheltenham, Pranita from Thurgoona, and Theodore listening all the way over there in London in England. And a belated birthday shout-out goes to Steele from Chinchilla. Today's classroom shout-outs go to Class S3L with Mrs. Lubina at Hebersham Public School, Class Murray with Mrs. Bassett Scarf at Como Primary School, Class 2B with Miss Bennett at Kahiba Public School in Lake Macquarie, Class 6C with Mrs. Kelly at Ripley Valley State School, Class 6A with Mrs. Patterson at Mount Crosby State School, and Katrina and Stephen Flynn, who are homeschooling from Hazelbrook. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout-out, or if you're after a classroom shout-out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au or fill out the form on our website. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again tomorrow with the weekly Kids versus Adult News Quiz. Your chance to prove who is smarter, kids or adults. And don't forget, tomorrow will be the last of our Squiz Kids Olympic sprint as the Olympic Games in Paris wrap up. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.